All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Rose Martinez. I serve as the director for the Bellwether College Consortium. I'm pleased to host this guidance webinar for the 2025 Bellwether Award Competition. The Bellwether College Consortium takes pride in hosting this long-standing and prestigious competition for our community colleges. Whether you're new to the competition or returning to compete again, we are delighted to have you with us. This session is being recorded for you to reference as a courtesy. It will be available on the consortium's website under the Resources tab. It will also be sent to everyone on this session and anyone who has submitted an entry. We wish you the best of luck and hope to have your college named as a Bellwether finalist. Let's go ahead and get started. Throughout the presentation, I just want to note that you can type a question in the chat box. I will be rejoining the session after you hear this pre-recorded component or segment that will go through who we are, what we do, of course, go through some guidance that we have for you, some details and deadlines, and of course, walking you through the submission portal. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with the presentation that's been recorded. Thank you all for your interest in this long-standing and prestigious Bellwether Award competition. This webinar is the consortium's opportunity to share what you need to know to prepare a competitive program submission. Today, you'll receive background on the consortium, specifically who we are and what we do. I'll provide guidance on the judge criteria for round one of the competition and provide a demo on submitting your program via the Bellwether submission portal located on the bellwethercollegeconsortium.com website. I will also include a few important dates and deadlines and close the session with a Q&A. If you have questions after the session concludes, or if you're watching the recording, please send me an email with your questions. I'm happy to respond at that point in time. Let me begin by sharing who we are. Current members are our 30 Bellwether finalists who competed in the Bellwether Award this year. They represent community colleges with programs from which were named the 2024 Bellwether Finalist Award winners. Our actual Bellwether Award winners are the top 3 scored programs. This year, they were Reading Community College in Pennsylvania, Lakeshore Technical College in Wisconsin, and St. Louis Community College in Missouri. I'll have the bigger list up later so you can see who participated in our competition this year. The Bellwether College Consortium focuses on critical community college issues. We strive to provide a high-value event that results in sharing innovative, scalable, replicable, and equity-focused programs with evidence-based success. Any public community college can submit an entry for the award and can register to attend the Futures Assembly. We have a member and non-member registration and encourage higher education communities to attend and learn from our 30 exceptional program teams. Registration will open in late November. To date, we have had over 1,300 Bellwether finalists and 80 Bellwether winners. Next slide. So let me share more about what we do. The Bellwether Award is a unique and long-standing respected accolade awarded by your esteemed peers and leaders in the field of higher education. Our jury of judges represent national community college organizations, state higher education coordinating or governing boards, leading businesses and philanthropies, and higher education councils. The competition is like no other. We have a 2-round process for the Bellwether Award. The first round of evaluation occurs online. We have a separate set of judges for that, and they review and score your online submissions. Then we invite the top 30 Bellwether finalists, so the top scored award colleges, to move forward into the second round of competition. So that is the top 10 scored colleges in 3 award categories. Those individual colleges are invited to our Community College Futures Assembly, but they are also invited to join our consortium. This is where the final competition takes place and where the winners are announced. It is a rich, unparalleled learning and sharing experience that also serves as our award competition. The consortium supports, publicizes, and promotes the Bellwether Award competition that celebrates and recognizes cutting-edge trend-setting programs worthy of replication. The Bellwether Award winners are provided a national platform. They're showcased at the ACCT National Congress and the Bellwether College Consortium Summer Innovation Series. Many of our past awardees have become Aspen finalists. We've had a winner. It is a stimulating, intense, and exciting experience that enables our college teams from across the nation to dissect their program management processes, the outcomes and key indicators, and it is basically the Heisman Award for our community colleges, is what many of our colleges have shared with us. Let's look back at the 2024 Bellwether finalists. So these are our 30 competitors for this year. The event took place in late February, and typically that is the month that we have the annual competition's final round. In instructional programs and services, like I said, Reading Area Community College in Pennsylvania took top honors. In that award category, we define it as programs or activities designed and successfully implemented to support teaching and learning in the community college. So that is our IPS category, our instructional programs and services. The next category, planning, governance, and finance, is defined by programs or activities that have been designed or successfully implemented to provide efficiency and effectiveness in the community college. The winner there was Lakeshore Technical College. And then finally, in the area of workforce development, that is defined as a public or private strategic alliance or partnership that promotes community and economic development by producing a workforce. And the winner there was St. Louis Community College from Missouri. Next slide. Let me go on and share some important dates and a few deadlines. The submission portal is open, so if you have not gone to our Bellwether College Consortium site, we will go through it or to it in just a moment, and that way we can walk you through the process of submitting an entry. But the first important deadline you need to be aware of is the September 27th deadline, which is when the portal closes. We will close it at roughly 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, so make note of that. The Bellwether link can be found at bellwethercollegeconsortium.com. And the next time you will hear from us will be November, which is when our judges will have an opportunity to have scored all the submissions, and then we will rank them and provide them to you by way of a press release. For those of you who are moving on as a Bellwether finalist, you will get a letter from me or the staff to indicate that you have definitely gone past the first hurdle, and we will be providing you with more information. So know that in November, you will receive the announcement. And we will blast it via social media through our resources, so you have that as well. We will provide a press release because we always enjoy the fact that our Bellwether finalists are indeed happy and proud of that accomplishment, as they should be, and provide it to their local audiences. Please note, like I said before, the September 27th deadline, if you have any questions or need to get a hold of me or the staff, if you would do that before that deadline date, that helps us ensure we have addressed all the questions that are coming through. It is not a guarantee that if you submit something on the 27th that we will have the bandwidth to address every question, but we try our best. Our offices close at 5 p.m. Central, and most of our questions can be answered on our FAQ site, which I will show you as well in just a bit. And then finally, the best thing is to note, obviously, is that February 23rd through 25th is the actual final round of the competition. It will be taking place, obviously, in 2025, and it will be at the Menger Hotel in San Antonio. So whether or not you're a finalist or not, I encourage everyone to attend. It's a wonderful event. Next slide. All right, well, let's go on and talk about the rubric, which is why many of you are here and want to know a little bit about the scoring process and then how to apply. So this is actually a piece of what our judges receive. This is round one judges scoring rubric. You have 4 specific categories or criteria that they are looking at. The first one is to identify a critical issue or challenge. The second is to describe the process timeline, participants, etc. The third is to specify the performance indicators and outcomes. Of course, I'm paraphrasing here, shortening some of this, and then finally elaborate on the lessons learned or how folks would replicate your specific initiative. We provide the most weight. We feel what's most important are those outcomes to determine that this is indeed a program that would be important to replicate or scale. And so if you look at what I'm sharing in front of you right now, you'll see how we distribute the points or how our judges determine the score for you. It goes from 0 to 7 points when we're looking at performance indicators, which is 30% of the overall score. And so depending on whether or not a particular submitter minimally provides that information, provides moderate evidence, or satisfactorily provides enough evidence for our judges to feel confident to give you a score of 5 or 7, that gives you a good indication of how they'll make those determinations. And basically, all of these particular criteria have the same sort of rubric, did not have any evidence, minimally supported that particular criterion, provided moderate evidence, or satisfactorily provided enough evidence for our judges to give you a top score. And so that is basically how round one scoring occurs. And all of our anonymous judges receive their packets online, so it's all electronic and pretty well vetted and designed at this point, where our judges really enjoy this process and feel like it's quite easy. And so I hope you feel the same. Next slide. All right, we are going to go ahead and go to the portal. So, but first, before we do that, let's go to the bellwethercollegeconsortium.com website and just make sure you know where to go when you get there. So if we go to the bellwethercollegeconsortium.com website, and by the way, we are supported by Alamo Colleges District. So when you do see that that address, you will see www.alamo.edu, and that's because we are generously supported by Alamo Colleges District and housed at Alamo Colleges. But if we can go on to our page, you will see the submission portal is right there front and center in that blue button. So you can locate that there. If you go to that button, you will then see the form. It's very easy. What I would definitely recommend is that you have all your information that is needed for the form. So go ahead, go in and look at it, make sure you identify what is needed, and then come back when you have all the information ready to go. And for some of this stuff, you can kind of cut and paste and put it in there. There is a drop down for some of these tabs. So let's go ahead and look at the first portion of it. And so we will make sure that we go to the first portion, which is saying to go ahead and provide or choose your submission category. There are 3, as I've said before: instructional programs and services, workforce development, planning, governance, and finance. You can only choose one. We allow 1 submission per college or district. If the district is an independent district, or in a district with independent colleges, each one of those colleges can vie for an award separately. So pick your specific category once you know those definitions and feel like that's correct. The definitions are offered also when you click on the submission category button, so you get them again. So if you have any questions, you can see them there. Obviously, add your college name, your address. We'll need all of this information to get in contact with you. Most of the time we will be communicating via email. Every once in a while, I will make a call if I need to, and for some reason I'm not able to get a hold of that particular person. It is important that that principal contact person, what we call our point of contact, is someone that is checking their email regularly, that can provide information to anyone on your team that it will be competing, so that they have all the dates, all the deadlines, all the information we're sharing with that point of contact. And so make sure that person is there during the times from now till February 24th, so that we can make sure that there are no missed deadlines. On occasion, I will contact someone there if we're not able to get a hold of the point of contact, but a very important person. I cannot stress that enough. We'll need the phone number, we'll need the email, the title of the presentation, keep that to 10 words or less. That's for the fact, as many of you know, if you're doing any kind of print material, we just want to make sure that we can put everything in our program, and that is something that we want succinct and clear in terms of what that presentation is going to be about. And then the first portion is to provide an abstract. Let's see. Oh, sorry, did I not? I missed this. So yes, if you have the names of your presenters, go ahead and provide them there. We will need one to start with. I know many of you sometimes don't have all that information. So as long as we have one presenter, we can always follow up with you, become a finalist, and we'll gather the rest of your presenters at a later time. But make sure you go ahead and put that one person in there. And then finally, we go to the program description. So this abstract is 50 words or less. This will also be a part of the program should you become a Bellwether finalist. I do emphasize, keep that program description for whatever reason. If you need to see it again, you have it with you. There have been times where people have maybe tweaked that program to make sure that that they are indeed using the best abstract possible to move forward. And then finally, the program summary, that is what will be scored. So using that criteria, which is listed here, 1,000 words or less, provide a program summary that details your program and hits on all the criteria that we have identified thus far. And then finally, there's our contact information there, mine, and you will probably receive a confirmation when you put this in to say that we have received that. If you do not, please get a hold of me or let me know. And then we get to the busy work of deciding who those 30 Bellwether finalists are. Make sure you hit that submit button, most important. Now we're going to go to the submission form and guidelines. Okay, so in terms of the guidelines, you go to Bellwether Awards, submission form and guidelines, and what they provide there is all the information I've covered and in much more detail. So if you have any questions about anything, you should be able to find it on our chronology of events and move forward from there. If there's anything more that you need, obviously contact our office and we're more than happy to provide you with more information. There's also a FAQs piece that you can find as well. So that is the last tab And also there is some important information too, but most of this is already found on your guidelines case. So if you become a Bellwether finalist, that'll be wonderful to hear and to share with your audience, with your community college team. What happens after that point? Well, we invite you to become part of the Bellwether College Consortium. You register as a member. The membership is $3,300, but that covers three registrants for the event. So they come in with that funding. And then also, obviously, you get the perks of being a finalist for the entire year, which includes digital binders from every college that is participating as a finalist. You will submit a digital binder, as I shared. That is part of the final round of competition. And that is so we have a history and we have a roadmap for anybody that would want to replicate your own program. It's really important, and that's how we disseminate this important information that we feel most of every college should have the ability to replicate, particularly, obviously, our members who are paying for that service. You participate in the Bellwether Finalist Showcase. I will talk a little bit more about that when you become a finalist, but that's also a separate award category, and that provides our judges with kind of a quick preview of what the larger presentation will look like. There is, like I said, an oral presentation that's 60 minutes long. We'll get more into that into detail, but that is definitely the most vital portion of the final round of competition. So the criteria is a little more expanded. That includes your oral presentation. We will have anonymous judges there, and you will also have your own peer colleges there in the audience. So this is the most important part of the event beyond the competition, is being able to see what other colleges are doing and learn from them. And then finally, we end with a bang with an amazing award presentation that includes a professional musician, and everyone at that event is getting an award for being one of the top colleges that was judged upon. And so whether you're a finalist or whether you are very, you represent our Bellwether Award winner in any one of the three categories, all of our college teams come up and receive an award. So it's an amazing event. And so that's how we close out the event. We will also have some speakers there as well. Lunch is provided. We have two breakfast opportunities and two receptions. So there's some fun put in there as well. And some, like I said, an amazing event. And you get to meet so many amazing people from around the nation in the community college sector doing some incredible work. All right. And then finally, we'll have, like I said, we have a couple of FAQs that I'll go through right now. There are 3 Bellwether Award categories I mentioned: instructional programs and services, planning, governance and finance, and workforce development. 1 submission is allowed per college or district per category. And districts that consist of more than 1 independent college can submit 1 submission per college per award category. Member benefits, I talked a little bit about this. 3 registrations are included in the membership. There's discounted registration for additional members, which is important. There's unlimited access to the digital binders for the entire consortium membership. Then there's links to our innovation series where we interview each of our winners. So obviously you don't always have the opportunity to go to all the sessions, and you will not know who the winners are. So we provide that as a service for our members. We interview all of our Bellwether winners, and really it's really some great information, some detailed information, and you get to learn about why they came out as a winner. And then finally, there's a presentation on latest community college research. In addition to this, we also have an outstanding dissertation award competition. Some of you may have gotten a postcard. So if you are someone who is going to be graduating with a doctoral award or degree, and your focus is a community college research issue, we'd love to have you participate. The winner of that dissertation award presents at this conference as well. So we marry the practitioner program aspects with some cutting edge research on community college issue, and together it just makes for a really really important event, and you get to learn beyond what the community colleges are doing. You get to hear from a up and coming scholar as well. This is our team. Our team is small but mighty, we like to say. Dina Rodriguez Cassidy handles a lot of the work with our judges. She is very detailed oriented. She works with our judges to make sure they have everything they need for the scoring process. Robert Acosta, who is helping record this and make sure that all our members and our finalists get what they need. Provides all our social media content and works to provide some amazing graphics, including our program every year. Jessica Barnes is our district support person. She's our logistic person that will be on hand at the event should you go to the Community College Futures Assembly. All of us are there to help you. So if you have any question, please reach out to any one of us and we will surely get your question answered in a timely fashion. So we are your team. We look forward to working with each and every one of you, and don't hesitate to ask any of us a question if you have it. At that point, we'll just go ahead and start with our questions here today. So please put your questions in the chat, and then I will address them as they come through. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. I'm joining you back, and we'll take a couple of questions. So I'll give a minute or two just to see if anyone has a pressing question that we haven't answered, or if you need some clarification about something that was stated earlier. I'll be on the line here and would appreciate any questions you might have. So Sarah asked, is this for completed projects or proposed projects or both? If you're referencing the round one competition criteria, that is what you will be submitting when you submit your program summary. You will be hitting upon all the criteria I covered earlier. So, critical issue, the actual program development, the outcomes, lessons learned, replication. And so, right, yes, no, 1,000 words is not a lot, but we've been doing this for many years, and our judges have found, actually it was at 800 words, and so we increased it. And they found that that was their spot where they either could tell or not tell, or they could tell which particular programs were pretty proficient in what they were doing. They had the evidence, and they had a good overview of what the program was like. And because we have timelines that are that we must follow, we have to kind of keep it to 1,000 words, just so our judges have a good feel of what you're doing, but also have the time to get through all the submissions and provide enough time for them to look at them, if not once, twice. And we have 3 judges, by the way, that look at each submission in each category. So no, we don't need any of the attachments when you're submitting through the portal for the round one process. We do, and we can allow attachments to the digital binders, but that would be once you get past the first round. But that's a good question. So in terms of I'll go back to Kristen's question. What would be your recommendation for use of that space, emphasis on results? What I typically state is, yes, spend the most time and effort on your outcomes, your indicators of evidence of success, and then look at how we weight each one of those criteria. Obviously, you want to make your points pretty quickly. In terms of a critical issue, you can identify maybe a stat or something that suggests this is a national issue, this is a local issue, this is a regional issue, this is a state issue, and then move on to how you went about solving or at least responding to that critical issue. But yeah, take a look at the percentages and how those are scored across the board in terms of criteria, and then use that as your guide. but there's really no particular length for any particular area. Just take a look at what you've written and then does it address each one of those areas. Let's see. Sarah asked, thank you. One more question. One of our projects is slated to be completed by the end of 2025. If it is not a completed project, is it still eligible for submission? How I would answer your question is, do you have enough results? Do you have enough evidence that suggests it's successful, that it is solving a critical issue? If it's too early for you to have substantial results or enough results for our judges, then it could be that you submit it and that might be something you might hear about. But it could be that the results are wonderful and you have them there. So I think to address that would have to be, you would have to look at your evidence and see, do I have enough to make a compelling argument that this is a replicable program? What I will say is that for the Bellwether finalists, there will be another guidance session. So we will go in depth into the digital binder, obviously prepare you on that oral presentation. So much of this we just provide to you in steps, so you're not obviously overwhelmed, but this is the first step, and by far this is probably the easiest in terms of the amount of time, and then it gets a little more in depth. But the digital binder will be limited to 10 pages. So know that it's not too time consuming. It's just really about making sure you're hitting all the judges' criteria.
We do have a question, Rose. For clarification, do we have to join as members to participate?
No, not for the first round. For the first round, it's open to everyone. And then if you become a finalist, then at that time, we will let you know in advance. We will let you know. And then you have roughly about 48 hours to provide us with an intent to participate. And that's at that point in time where you can let us know we are definitely on board, which 99.9% of y'all will do, or maybe not. So we definitely use that short amount of time to make sure all of our Bellwether finalists are identified. That's embargoed information. And then once we have within that 48 hours, everyone has confirmed or let us know that they can participate, then a press release comes out. It's pretty quick. So we're really busy on our end for sure. And then we make that known through a press release. And we celebrate all the folks that have been identified as a Bellwether finalist. Righty. Wait a couple of more seconds here just to see if there's one other question. I am fine also with receiving email from you, obviously phone calls, to answer any questions that you might have that come up after the session has closed. And for those of you that are listening to the recording, please by all means get in touch with me as well. So we are here for you. Like I said, we are excited about 2025 and this new group of submitters. I know we are going to have some new community colleges. We always do, but I want to thank you for those of you who've reached out to me via email and have called me and said they've gotten a postcard or they've gotten an email from me just inviting you to participate. So please give that strong consideration. And like I said, we'd love to have you at the event and learn more about your program. Okay, we do have another question from Erica. Is there a monetary award as well? We do not have a monetary award for our Bellwether winners. We do have a large award, which is behind me, one of many of years that we've had the award, but no monetary award. We do provide a lot of information in terms of I'm one of the contributing writers for issues in higher education, and typically that's also another resource that is utilized to share your honor nationally. or at least to their readership. And then also, like I said, through ACCT's Leadership Congress, we'll have actually our 2024 winners there if anyone is going to that event in Seattle in October, and our innovation series. Ooh, that's a good question, Heather. So how many colleges submit each year? Honestly, it depends on the year. During our COVID years, obviously it took a dip, but I would say between 70 and sometimes over 100 in years past. It just depends on any particular date and time. But I would say between 70 and 100 submissions is about right. And then again, that is then whittled down to 10 finalists in each of the 3 categories. And by the way, a program can only be a finalist in 1 category. So please note that as well, if that wasn't very clear. Okay. Well, if we don't have any more questions, I would like to say thank you again for joining us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest. We are here, like I said, if you have any questions and want to talk offline, please feel free to contact any one of us. But thank you so much. Best of luck, and hopefully we will be seeing you in the coming months. I appreciate you all. Thank you.